Okay, another stamping, I guess a Stampscapes show and tell piece with the Stampscapes Made Easy DVD with Ken Pesho and by Ken Pesho. Okay, this is a production that Ken did himself with some company out in the Arizona area where Ken lived and taught Stampscape stamps. But anyways, he goes into, it says, includes tips on paper, ink, heat setting, layout, inking your stamp, masking, stamping with different size stamps, and applying inks to the paper. Start to finish, Stampscapes Scene Made Easy. All right, so I met Ken at the Carson stamp convention. It's also known as the original rubber stamp convention. But he would come around and he would kind of sit in and watch the demonstration. And I'd see him around quite often. And I don't know, at some point in time we got to talking and, he used the stamps, but then he started also teaching it. I don't remember the exact timeline, but he started teaching Stampscapes whatever techniques and things like that, and spreading word on the line out in the Arizona area. So he would travel up and down the state teaching classes out there. And at one point in time, kind of later on, he was actually kind of representing us at shows at the, I believe it was the Mesa, Arizona show. And then he also did Albuquerque, New Mexico at one point in time. I don't know if it was multiple times or not. And I don't remember if there were other conventions that he was doing as well, but he was just a great spokesperson for the Stampscapes line and just a really great guy. And I also got to know him a little bit more when we would go out to the rubber stamping retreats out in the Chicago area. I think there were three in total that I went to out that way. And Ken would also travel out there. It was a scenic stamping retreat in general, not, specifically Stampscapes or anything like that, but I think it was the scenic stamper group from maybe the Yahoo group or something like that, and, the Stampscapes Yahoo group as well. Which was a lot of the same people as the general scenic stamping group. But we would get together out there, and just kind of spend like 2 or 3 days of just stamping together in a room. But people would kind of amass around someone if they had a new type of technique or something like that, or new materials that they wanted to share that they've been using to create their scenes. But it was a really great opportunity to spend some time with some additional stampers. But I learned about different things with Ken. So, I like using the tack and peel type of material, this adhesive that's on my acrylic blocks here. It's just temporary adhesive system for that. But Ken told me about that out there when people were asking about how they use their unmounted stamps. But Ken's block was like absolutely black with ink, and he said he had been using it for years, and no problem. He just kind of washes it off when he needs to, and it's as tacky as ever. So this one right here is something that I just cleaned off, and it is like as tacky as brand new practically. And this is a really heavy acrylic block here. It's big. But this material works really well. But I learned that from him out there. Yeah, his favorite black ink was a Memories black ink. For me, that never dried very fast. So if I used it anywhere, like if this scene were one that I did, it's Ken's. But if I stamped out, these foreground images in here, I might use the Memories black because it was so thick and rich and deep black, But I could stamp it on as my last thing that I put on my scenes because I could just let it sit overnight. But if I tried to stamp out something like that, the interior, the main foundation of the scene in Memories, it would take forever for it to dry. So if I tried to color it, it would just blur everywhere. But that's when I realized, in these, like out in Arizona, in these arid environments, your inks could be drying it like 4 times as fast as me in, warm weather state of California, but it just doesn't dry like Memories does. So that always kind of confused me. I'm like thinking, how are you using that Memories black ink? But anyways, that is Stampscapes Made Easy with Ken Pesho. I don't know if this is digitized anywhere, but it'd be cool to kind of have that up on YouTube that for people to see. But he used to take this around and sell. I think he sold it online. But he also sold them in his classes into the different stores that he taught at. Okay, so I don't have another DVD here, but Janet Winkle was another person that had a Stampscapes-based kind of CD or DVD or VHS. I think it's a DVD though, but she would teach classes around. I don't know if she was teaching in a huge number of places, but it was at the Scrapbook Superstore, I believe, was the name of it. And then she would also go to Stampaway USA, the Cincinnati stamp convention. But she has a video channel, a YouTube channel called A Stamp in Every Hand, and I'll put a link to it in the description section here. But she has a lot of great videos on projects and techniques there, so check her out. But anyways, I thought I would do this. This was sitting right next to my all my Page Sage DVDs, and I thought I did a little video on those yesterday, but I thought I'd do one on the Ken Pesho one right here today to get him in there. Thanks, Ken, and thanks, Janet, for spreading the word on Stampscapes, and for all of your great kind of I don't know, whatever, sharing of the techniques that you did out there in both in person and with your DVD productions. Anyways, and thanks to all of you for watching this vid and checking out the channel in general.